So everyone, the iPhone 14 lineup, so the 14 and the 14 Pros, have been out for about 6 months now at this point, and I thought I would take this opportunity to talk about some of the accessories that I use on a day-to-day basis with my iPhone. Now these accessories will work for most iPhones that have MagSafe especially, so iPhone 12, iPhone 13, and of course the iPhone 14 lineup, and even some of the case manufacturers will have models for the 12 and the 13. So if you don't have a 14, definitely still watch this video because a lot of these accessories will work for your current setup, but just for reference sake, I will be showing off items with my iPhone 14 Pro Max and 13 Pro Max. But without further ado, let's talk about these accessories that I use on a day-to-day basis with the iPhone 14. Let's get into it. So the first few accessories that I'm going to mention are going to be accessories that are physically on the iPhone most of the time. So the first thing that's going to come up is either a skin or a case. Now on my 13 Pro Max, I like to rock a D-brand skin on there. I did have the graphite colorway of the iPhone, but I went with a white leather backing from D-brand just to give a little bit of contrast as well, and it's a good look, and I normally like to keep that iPhone a little bit naked just because it just feels better in the hand overall. So definitely check out D-brand if you guys want to get some skins. There's also some other companies that make skins, but I've noticed that D-brand is probably the most tried and true one and, most accepted in the tech community. And then when it comes to cases, this is a tough one because cases, especially now that you can go on Amazon and buy a case for anywhere from like $5 to $15, they're a dime a dozen. So you got to be doing something exceptionally well to really stand out and be okay spending anywhere from $40 to $80 on a case. The first one has to be by Pitaka. I've used Pitaka cases for such a long time, I think dating back to the iPhone 10 now at this point. The case that I've used on both the 13 and the 14 Pro Max is their thin aramid fiber MagSafe compatible case, and in my opinion, it is the thinnest case that you can get that still adds additional magnets for that extra strong connectivity when using MagSafe accessories. And I think this is a big one, especially for the iPhone 12 lineup, because the iPhone 12 lineup had terrible magnet strength, and every year Apple has upped the strength of the magnets internally on the iPhone, but I always like to have some extra internal magnets on the case itself for that fact. So the one that I like to use is by Pitaka. They do have that new sunset colorway, which is a limited edition one, which I'll link down below, and everything will be linked down below for you guys to check out. But I just love the thinness of it. I love how sturdy it is. I love the amount of protection that we get both on the actual side railings of the iPhone. We get a little bit of a lip and also a lip for the camera bump and the camera kind of module in the rear. And I'm a big fan of thin cases, so this one is a no-brainer for me. And another case that I really enjoy is by a company called Kiki, and they actually sponsored a video a couple weeks ago on the channel here, and I actually love this case, and in my opinion, it is the cheapest way to get as close to what Apple makes as a Apple certified case. So if you guys have ever used those plastic or like silicone feeling cases from Apple that are very soft touch, and the inside is lined in microfiber lining, so this one that goes between $10 and $20 is by far the best and closest thing that you can get to that $60 iPhone case. So, and Kiki makes a bunch of different colorways. It's very nice to the touch. I'm a big fan of this pastel green that I've been using with the iPhone 14 for a little while now. And again, it does bring some extra MagSafe magnets built in there, which you can see on the inside of it with that microfiber lining. So you got your Pitaka case, which is extra thin, a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more rigid. And then you have this one, which is very soft touch, a little bit thicker, so you get a little more protection from drops, but you still have the lip on the screen, the lip on the actual rear of the phone, and it's just a nice aesthetic overall. And in my opinion, if you're looking at the iPhone case versus this case, I'd rather buy two of these Kiki cases for $40 or less than spend $50 or $60 on the Apple certified cases because, I'm not going to give Apple any more money than I already have. So now let's talk about some MagSafe accessories that I use pretty much every single day on the iPhone itself. So I have two wallet variations for you, and ever since MagSafe kind of wallets came out, I've pretty much fully adopted them. I haven't really used a wallet. I used to have the Ridge wallet and then an Andar wallet, which I really like, and they're great wallets in their own right. But now just being able to carry my ID, one emergency credit card, maybe an emergency 20, and then my health insurance card, which even that I don't really need at this point. But carrying just 3 cards and a little bit of cash with these is absolutely amazing, and I no longer have to bring a wallet with me. Now the first wallet I'm going to mention is by a company called Moft, and you guys have probably heard about them in the past. They make these origami style kind of accessories to iDevices and other Mac accessories like iPhones, iPads, and even MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs. But this one is our MagSafe Wallet. So this MagSafe Wallet, what I like about this is the amount of form and function that you get with this. So it's made out of vegan leather, stitched extremely nicely, it patinas nicely as well. I've been using this black colorway for a long time now, and you can fit anywhere from 2 to 4 cards, depending on how thick they are, if they're made of plastic or metal. But what I like about this is that it's not just a wallet. So if you actually look at what it can do, you can actually use this as not only a wallet, but you can also use it as a stand. In that stand, you can use it in 3 different variations. So you have the portrait version, you have the landscape version, and then you have the TV version of this actual stand, which I like to have as a just in case, maybe I'm at a restaurant and they're not playing the game that I want on the TV. So I'm playing the game through YouTube TV on my phone. And then also, as a coincidence, or not even on purpose as a value add, that same kind of origami design that you use to actually fold it down and make sure that you can stand up your iPhone, you can use that as kind of like a loop to actually hold your iPhone in place if you're just carrying it around. So almost the same kind of idea that a pop socket would do for your iPhone. Now you can actually do it with this moth case, which is great to see. And then the next wallet is by Satechi, which is actually a prototype wallet, a MagSafe wallet, which I really want them to release it because it's an amazing wallet, but there are some alternatives, which I'll link down below on Amazon. It's the same idea as a Moft wallet, but it is a wallet and a stand at the same time. You get different viewing angles, but instead of having that origami folding style kind of situation, this one actually just opens up like a normal wallet, but it's a very rigid hinge. And that rigid hinge is where all the magic happens and allows you to use it as a stand, allows you to use it to kind of hold your phone in place when you're holding it in your hand. So I'm going to link some below that I've used in the past also that is very similar to the Satechi one. And what I like about the Satechi one is that you can actually hold a few more cards in there because you have your normal 3-4 card divot, but then you have another section in there that can fit maybe a Tesla key and your ID with a little pass-through as well. So these are some great alternatives that I like to use, but a MagSafe wallet is something that comes with me at all times. So now let's talk about MagSafe battery packs. Now MagSafe battery packs, I don't bring them with me every single day because again, normally I have a charger around me or I'm in a situation where, you know, I can plug in and get some charge, but whenever I'm on the go and I know I'm going to be gone for at least maybe 8 hours, especially with the iPhone 13 Pro Max, because the battery has kind of deteriorated over the last 18 months, I like to bring a MagSafe battery, and there's 2 that I always bring with me, or at least I like to alternate between. The first one is by Moft, and what I like about this Moft one is that it actually works together with that Moft wallet that I mentioned earlier. So this one is by Moft, like I mentioned. It has that same aesthetic, so it's wrapped in this vegan leather. It's actually very thin, and it's probably as thin as the Apple version, which is not really common. If you go on Amazon or any other website and look at MagSafe battery packs, they're usually a little bit hefty, a little bit thick, and kind of doubles or even triples the size of your iPhone. This one is very thin. It does only have 3,000 milliamp hours in terms of internal battery capacity, but that's all you really need as a quick top off. It'll charge your iPhone for about 50%, maybe 40% depending on which iPhone you have. But also you can slap the wallet itself on the other side of that MagSafe battery pack because there's more magnets. It kind of have this like triple setup where you're using your iPhone with the MagSafe battery pack and the MagSafe wallet to be used as a stand. So at that point it gets a little bit thick, but I like the idea and the compatibility and the modularity of this situation. And they actually get sold together as a bundle, which I'll link down below if you guys do want to check it out. From an aesthetic standpoint, I like that battery pack the best because it's not that big, it's not that thick, it's lightweight, gives you enough of a charge to get you a little bit more than you would need in a full day. So that one is by Moft and it is 3,000 milliamp hours. And then the next one is by Momax. You guys have heard me talk about Momax a lot. This is the heavier duty one that does get used a lot more on maybe a 2-day trip. So this one is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and it does also have a kickstand. So if you want to use it as a stand and kind of want to have that same idea and function with that Moft wallet and Moft battery pack situation, this one does it all in one minus the wallet part, right? So you have the MagSafe battery pack of 5,000 milliamp hours. It charges via USB-C, so does the Moft one, just so I can kind of reiterate. But Moft also actually has one that charges via Lightning, which probably a year ago made sense, but now with the new iPhones getting USB-C next year or this upcoming year, it doesn't make sense to really get that one anymore, but they do offer that option if you want to charge via Lightning or charge via USB-C. And like I mentioned, it does have a kickstand on the rear to allow you to use it as a kickstand so you kind of view content or whatever the case may be while still charging. So now let's talk about the charging situation if you want to charge it without a MagSafe battery, just in a normal charging situation. So I've fully adopted MagSafe. It's very, very rare for me to hard plug in a lightning cable into my iPhone. You guys might be in a different boat, but like I said, I've fully adopted MagSafe. And the first charger I'm going to mention is a 3-in-1 charger by Zera. I've mentioned them in the past, and still to this day, it's one of the most reliable third-party chargers that I've used, and for less than half the price of the MagSafe Duo with more functionality. So this Zera charger is exactly what it sounds like. It is a foldable competitor to the MagSafe Duo that Apple sells for $130, except this one gives you a third charging platform to charge not only your Apple Watch, but also your AirPods or AirPods Pro or any other wireless charging either phone or accessory that you see fit. So this one, it plugs in via USB-C, it outputs up to 7.5 watts of power to the MagSafe iPhone portion of it. You get 5 watts of power on the Apple Watch charger and 5 watts of power on the last wireless charger. Folds it very nicely, and again, what I like about this is that it gives you a little bit more function than just being a flat charger. It folds up. You can fold it up into a triangle so it acts as a stand as well. You can lay it flat to make sure that you're charging all three of your devices. And even the Apple Watch portion of it, you can actually lift up the Apple Watch charger to that 90-degree angle to then give you a little bit more leeway when using different bands. So if you have that solo loop band that doesn't open up flat, you can just lift up the actual Apple Watch portion and you're good to go. So that one is one of the things that I highly recommend. I wrote a whole article on it, which I'll link down below if you guys do want to check that one out. And like I said, for 50 bucks, you get 3 wireless charging pads that can actually fold up, is very portable, as opposed to on the Apple side, you get 2 charging pads for $130 and it plugs in via Lightning versus the Zero plugs in via USB-C. So now to actually get power from the wall and to actually connect these things to make it work, we live in a world now where nobody is including a wall charger or a power brick anymore. So long gone are the days to get a free 5-watt power brick or anything like that. So there are companies that have made some other alternatives, some small compact alternatives. I'm going to mention 2 here. So I personally use one by Satechi. It is a small 27-watt charger that fits 1 USB-C cable, which is perfect for that zero charging situation, which is perfect to even charge up a MacBook Air if you have one of those. Like I use it as my MacBook Air charger as a kind of like a trickle charger. It's not going to charge at full speed, but for the most part, it gets it charged. But this is great to actually get enough power to fast charge if you want to directly power and plug in your iPhone. So in my opinion, this Satechi one is absolutely amazing for what it is. It's just a small power brick that outputs up to 27 watts of power. And then also Anker makes a competitor as well, which I'll link down below if you guys want to check that one out. And then one more thing that I want to mention from the power front is if you guys are big travelers and you travel internationally especially, having a correct converter to make sure that you're plugging to the correct wall outlet is a big deal. So I've actually been using this MagSafe charger, which is a built-in converter and it's a GAN charger. So you can use this in Australia, in the UK, in Europe, in South America. So that allows you to pretty much just bring this and not even have to bring an additional outlet or AC adapter to get it plugged in, because this also has 5 different ports built right into it that can take advantage of that 65-watt charging or that GAN charger. You have 1 PD USB-C port, 2 regular USB-C ports, and then 2 regular USB-A ports. So if you just bring your wires and bring this internationally, you'll be good to go. And then of course, you also have the ability to convert it. If you do want to hard plug in an AC outlet, you're good to go. So that one's by MagSafe. I definitely recommend having it in a travel pack if you do travel internationally. If you kind of stay domestically, it's obviously not needed, but it's a great little accessory. And even probably a great gift too. And then I want to throw in a couple more miscellaneous items. So for audio, I use my AirPods Pro 2, and I've been using them since day one, 0 issues, probably the best quality you get from in-ear earbuds in my opinion. But I will give a close second to the Soundcore Liberty 4s. I recently gave this a much longer try because I was letting my wife use my AirPods Pro 2. So for the last about 2 weeks, I've been using the Soundcore Liberty 4s as my main actual headphones with my iPhone. The only thing that I wish it had was wireless charging. It does not have wireless charging, but you get up to 30 hours of listening time. It has a built-in actual heart rate sensor in the earbuds themselves. The case is actually very compact. It charges via USB-C. You get active noise cancellation, transparency mode. You have a dedicated application to mess with the EQ. So there's a lot more customization. I believe it's about $170, and they're always discounted on Amazon. So if you guys are looking for a cheaper alternative that'll get you probably 90 to 95% of the way there to the actual ability of the AirPods Pro, then I highly recommend looking at these Soundcore Liberty 4s. They're great. They work how they're supposed to work. They automatically connect to all my different devices. And I was overall just impressed to what else was out there because I was so used to being in this AirPods Pro world that I kind of disregarded all other headphones. But this one I would definitely recommend, especially for the price point. Like I said, no wireless charging, but it makes up for it with fast wired charging. So definitely take that into consideration if you're looking for an alternative to AirPods. And then lastly, I had to include something to actually clean the device and make sure that you're getting all the germs off of it. So Paperlike has a little bit of a cleaning kit. I know that Paperlike is mostly known for their Paperlike screen protectors on iPads and things like that. But Paperlike also offers a cleaning kit, which I like to carry with me in my backpack at all times. It's literally a 2-in-1 situation. So the actual material on the outside of it itself is a microfiber cloth that you use to clean. And then there's a little solution in there which you spray, which is pretty much just saline water, just to make sure you get all the scuffs and smudges off your screen and off your iPhone, which I do really enjoy. So having that with me at all times is something that I like to carry with me. And those are all the accessories that I've personally been using with my iPhone 14 Pro Max and 13 Pro Max. Like I said, a lot of these accessories are going to work with all the different iPhones. The only one that I will consider is that if you have a 12 mini or a 13 mini, the battery packs that I mentioned, the MagSafe battery packs, are going to kind of be a little bit bigger than the actual iPhone itself, so it probably wouldn't be a perfect solution for you. I would recommend going with the Apple version, but if you have any other iPhone from the 12 or newer, all these accessories will work, and even some of the older ones will work as well, because you could just buy a MagSafe compatibility kit, put a MagSafe compatible case on, let's say, an iPhone 10, and you'll be good to go. But that is going to do it for this video, everybody. Let me know in the comment down below what accessories you cannot live without when it comes to your iPhone. Is it a case? Is it a charging mat? Is it a battery pack? Is it a wallet? Let me know in the comment down below and we can discuss down there. But if you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below as well so I know that you made it to the end. And if you guys want to watch more iOS, iPadOS, or macOS videos, click on one of these right here. And until next time, I'm Fernando. I'm out of here, everybody. Peace.